Hello, everyone, and welcome. This is Embracing Your Essence on Lilydale Radio, and I am Colleen Van der Zijden, the host of this show, and I am a registered medium here at Lilydale, a certified intuitive life coach, and all sorts of other things. And tonight we are just going to have some fun. We are going to answer questions. We're going to talk about spiritual growth, raising your vibration, the aura, soul, energy work, intuition, basically whatever you want to talk about. And I'll be doing some mini soul readings, mini aura readings, whatever, maybe some past life readings, who knows. So as you are joining in, do say hello, and then we'll get to stuff. But first, let me do some details as you're joining in. LilydaleAssembly.org. That is where you are going to find everything that is happening in Lilydale. We have a summer season starting very soon, and here is the program book if you have not seen the physical copy of it yet. And you can get one of those if you want one by calling the office in Lilydale or sending a message through Facebook, which is Lilydale Assembly Incorporated is the official page on Facebook. And you can order one of those there if you want a physical copy of the book. They do charge shipping and handling basically there. So you can do this. Okay, hold on. I'm checking my stuff. So as you are logging in, please say hello. I got to make sure things are working and that you can all see me and all of that stuff. And let's see. So my Facebook page is Colleen Van der Zijden, medium and intuitive life coach. And if you think you're going to want to ask a question tonight or have a mini reading, you need to be on my page so I can see your comments in my feed. I cannot see Lilydale's feed while I am live from my page. So hi, Ellie. Oh, good. At least I know somebody can see me, so that's awesome. So thank you so much. It's just a little slow logging in here. Hi, Paula, going to see you soon. Hi, Beverly, how are you? Hi, Cindy. And as I said, we are just going to have some fun tonight and just basically do whatever is what's going to happen. So let's see, what do I need to tell you about? You definitely want to make sure you're following me here on my page, Colleen Van der Zijden, medium intuitive life coach, and my website is colleenvanderzijden.com or becourageously.you.com. They both work. And I do want to, hello everybody, hi Sam and Debbie and Beverly and Charity and Nancy and Chris, yay, and Marianne, yay, and Dale, hi Dale, how did I miss you guys? And Carol, yay. So I'm just going to mention a few things that are happening this summer in Lilydale, and then I'm going to get to it. We, as I said, are going to just be having some fun tonight. If you have questions, spiritual growth, raising your vibration, the soul, aura, intuition, whatever spiritual topics you want to talk about, we'll just talk about them. And I'll do some mini aura and soul readings while we're here. So I'm just going to mention a few things that I opened my book up to, my program book here at Lilydale, so that you can just kind of see what's going to be coming. Greg, it's funny, I opened to his page. He is doing a near-death experience weekend here in Lilydale. He's got Jake Cooper coming, and he's got Claudia Edge coming. They're both near-death experiencers. They're going to tell their story about what it was like when they crossed over and came back. And there's going to be all sorts of fun things that weekend. That is July 12th through 14th. We also have, I saw it earlier and I did want to mention it. You guys know Donna Eden, the energy medicine person? Her daughter is coming, Dondi Dolan. How's that for a name? Dondi Dolan. I kind of like saying that. She's coming June 29th and 30th, and she is going to be talking about the 5 elements, and it is a healing and personality type system, and that will be awesome. So you definitely want to check her out, and I'm just going to see where else my book opens up to, and then I will go to what else we're going to be talking about. Here we go. Here's another one. Cindy Kaza is coming at the end of season, August 29th, 31st, and she's doing a medium's guide to connecting to your spirit guides, as well as a medium's guide to the colors of the aura. And more importantly than that, she's doing an evening of platform mediumship on August 31st. And she is an amazing medium, has been at Lilydale quite a lot, and has also been on television shows and everything. So just a few things to think about that's coming up this summer. So again, as you are logging in, make sure you say hello, and then I'll repeat what I'm going to do, and then we'll get to it, okay? So I'm going to answer questions about spiritual growth, raising your vibration, the soul, energy work, intuition, basically whatever you want to talk about. We are just going to do that and just have some fun. We're going to have some fun tonight. And I will also do some mini soul or aura readings and or give intuitive guidance depending on what you ask. If you have not watched me before, you need to know that if you put an interesting comment in the comments, that's going to get my attention and I'll be more likely to talk to you. Okay. So, and you need to be on my page, Colleen Vanderzijden, medium and intuitive life coach, so I can see your comments. I'm just going to scroll through and say hello. And then I am going to, hi, Yolanda. I just love that name, Yolanda. It's a great name. And Laura and Julie. Nice to see you, Julie. Hope you're doing well. And Emma. And it scrolled on me. And you guys know how that bugs me. And Carol. And I'm getting my notepad out so I can start making notes as we go here, because I want to make sure I get to people who catch my interest, right? Okay, sorry. It's just going to take me a second here. Okay, first question. And then I'm going and we're just gonna go. Okay, Allie wants to know, how do I stop absorbing others' energy when I do readings? And this, what I'm about to say, can apply to anybody who absorbs other people's energies, because so many of us are empaths right now. So I always use the example, we're walking down the street, we were fine, great mood, somebody walks by us, now we're in a bad mood. We picked up on their energy. And you know how it goes, right? When you have people around you who are energy vampires or they're toxic, very difficult and stuff, we pick up their energy. So Allie, she does readings and sometimes she picks up energy. It's very important for those of us who work in the metaphysical fields, healing or mediumship, to recognize that we are a channel, which means the energy comes in and out as it needs to go, but we don't take it on. So we have to know that first. The sign of when we pick up other people's energies and we absorb them, it is usually because we are kind and caring people. So we care about people. You know how it is when, say, your daughter is having a problem and you can feel her pain. You're picking up on her energy. And it's easier to do, of course, with people who you're close to, but you're picking up on that. We can pick up on other people's energy, but that doesn't mean we have to carry that energy. So one way, I'm just going to talk about one way so I can get to as many people as possible tonight to answer questions and mini readings and those things. One way to stop picking up other people's energies, one of my favorite ways, and some of you have probably heard me say this before, but it's so helpful, it's worth repeating, is to, before you're doing energy work, before you leave your house in the morning, set that energy intention that the space around you is going to be only of love, light, peace, joy, whatever you want it to be. Set that around you. It's almost like you visualize an energy bubble around you and you make it strong, and that only positive energies are going to enter that bubble. This helps us protect our own energy. Now, it's a little interesting because when we're doing readings, if we're doing psychic work or energy, or even if we're just a nice, kind, caring person and we want to connect with people, we can still connect with them empathetically without stepping into that energy and taking it on. Sometimes just knowing that is going to make a huge difference. If I'm doing a mediumship reading and the energy starts to get really strong and I'm picking up on the emotion of the spirit, I ask them to take it back, hold on to their own emotion, or calm down if that's the case, because I'm not going to be as effective as a medium if I'm getting all worked up, crying or sad or angry or whatever, because of what is happening with the spirit or the physical client in front of me. So it's best that we can still be loving, kind, caring, connected, but we don't have to take it on. And just knowing that is going to help too. So two things, energy bubble and knowing that you can still help without taking that on. So many of us are empaths and we can find it hard to separate, but we can do it. Okay. I am teaching an empath class this summer where I can give you some strategies on that. And if you're in the community, I'm doing one on Monday night. Hi, Fiona from Glasgow. Yay. And Dale, I already said Dale, and Pam, Karen. Okay. So if you guys have questions, you want something from me, now is the time. Okay. Now what I want. Okay. Let's have some guidelines here. What I don't want is somebody going to pick me up from the airport? No, I want something interesting. Like, why is it every time I attempt to raise my vibration, somebody comes along and knocks me down? Don't ask that question, but that's just, you get the idea. Okay. Okay, here's a good question. See, you'll see what I mean soon. Beverly, I've been having a time when I need to lay down and start to have visions. This happened for 3 days after the solar eclipse. What is happening to me? Did y'all notice the energy shift with the solar eclipse? I was like, yeah, it's supposed to happen, but it did. And it's so wild. So, lots of times when something happens, it can be a little bit scary, right? So if Beverly is lying down and she's having visions, she might think to herself, I think I'm going psychotic. Maybe I'm schizophrenic. Unlikely. Okay. What is happening right now is that the energy has shifted so much. It has raised our vibrations, if you will. It's probably a bad sentence there, but you get the idea. It's raising our vibration so that it's easier for us to connect with and access the energy from heaven, the divine, angels, guides, spirits. So it's easier for us to access that energy. Okay, they don't have a problem communicating with us. We have a problem getting in that space where we're receptive to these messages. And what may very well be happening, Beverly, and it feels like it is that you are actually being shown these visions to help you either expand your spiritual growth or to get guidance from them or to pass messages on maybe to other people. I'm assuming they are not scary visions, okay? When we get messages, visions, those kinds of things from spirit, angels, guides, they will come in with a very factual energy and also will be helpful, okay? And what I mean by that is, say you're getting ready to cross the street, just using a regular example. Say you're going to cross the street and you're not looking. You might hear a voice in your head or get this feeling. If you walk in the traffic now, you're going to get hit by a car. It's not going to be, if you walk in the traffic now, you're going to get hit by a car. It's not screaming at you. It's just going to be this message, and it'll be enough to get your attention, and you'll stop and you'll look and you won't get hit by the car. So when you get intuitive messages from angels and guides, etc., it's just going to come in like that. You're going to stop and get milk on the way home. Okay. Now, if you hear something or feel something or get that message, maybe it says you're going to get in a car accident, right? It's still going to come in very factually. After you experience, hear it, feel it, you might have an emotional reaction, and that's okay. That's fine. You can go, whoa, I don't want to get hit by a car or be in a car accident, and then that catches your attention, and then you can take action. Okay. Intuitive messages will not come in with a heavy emotion. Okay. So, Beverly, if you are having these visions and they are positive or just very factual, if I were you, I would be making notes of the visions I'm getting, and I would also be writing down my impressions. How do I feel when this comes in? How do I feel emotionally, mentally, physically? So I pay attention to all your senses. I want you to write it down because we think we're going to remember things, but we don't. So if you write it down, and you don't have to write the whole thing out, just enough so you'll remember, that will help you because, say, you keep getting the same vision over and over and over again. Then you really do want to explore, what does this mean exactly? And that is so important to do. So I suggest that. So short answer, after that very long answer, is that your vibration is probably raising. And you're getting higher up here. That is probably what is happening. Okay, I will leave you with that. I'm scrolling. Okay, hold on 2 seconds. Okay, people, yes, they're feeling it. Okay, interesting. Sorry, it takes me a minute to read them because it scrolls really fast for me. Charity, what spiritual gift is it when you can send an angel to a friend to comfort them? I don't even know if I'd call it a spiritual gift, Charity. I would just call it positive intention and asking angels to go help people, because every one of us has the ability to request help from the other side, from angels, from God, etc. We have that ability. And if we want to send positive energies to somebody or an angel to a friend, it's basically a prayer, and we can do that. A little side adventure for a second here. If you want to send healing to someone and you do not have permission to do so, we do want to make sure when you send healing, you have permission. But if you don't have permission, what you can do is send the healing soul to soul, with the understanding that the other person's soul can accept it or reject it. It is their right. They do not have to accept the healing. Same thing, they don't have to accept an angel if they don't want to either. So we can do that. We can sometimes call that laying the healing at their feet, and their soul can decide to take it. So that's just being kind, Charity. Cindy, intuitive guidance. What I'm going to do is just see where I go. Okay. So everybody who's watching, lots of times when I'm talking to one person, the information I say will apply to other people. So if I say something to Cindy and you think, that makes sense for me, take it. Spirit, angels, guides, we want to reach as many people as possible when we give messages. So sometimes the messages can be taken by more than one person. So if it makes sense to you, you take it. So Cindy, okay, the first thing that happened as soon as I touched in with you is I got this feeling in my stomach that I get when somebody is either worried or overwhelmed or just not feeling quite themselves. And it does not feel like a physical thing to me as of this moment. And what comes in with this is I want to acknowledge that you are the kind of person that is not easily knocked down. Okay. If something happens, you have resilience. You keep going. You do the best you can. You always operate out of integrity as much as possible. I do see the purple color coming in, which for me is a spiritual connection. This means you're being strongly guided spiritually. So if there's something going on in your life and you're questioning how is it going to come out, etc., know that you are being guided. I want to move this energy that I'm feeling. You'll have to let me know if you've got, you don't have to give me details, but if something is going on that is kind of bothering you, because I really want to move this energy out. And what I want to do with that is do this. It's the emotion of bringing positive energy in and just releasing energy, because it feels like it's just a little stuck in there. So you may want to try that as well. And here's the thing. Okay, I just had another vision. Funny, he's working in visions this year, my guide. So it's always interesting to see what happened. It'll be fun to see how my readings go this summer. I am seeing cards. I've got the cards all laid out. It looks like, I thought first we were playing solitaire or something like that, but no, it looks like tarot cards, and I am not a tarot card reader. So I'm seeing cards, and I see 3 cards laid out. I feel like the first card is the past, the middle card is the present, and the next card is the future. And I get a very strong sense of forward motion in here, and also balance, that you will be balanced. So whatever you've got going on, know that it's going to be fine. Know that it will be balanced, and you have a very strong spiritual guidance coming in. Oh, that was interesting. We'll see if that makes sense to you. Let me know what you think. Okay. Okay. Okay, Allie says, I've done a couple of readings in crisis, one possible murder case, and I'm feeling like I've been thrown to the wolves. Yeah, that sounds interesting. I've had a couple of weird readings kind of like that myself. I try to stay as detached as possible, and I mean that out of my emotions, okay, that way. So it's really important. Cindy, not been my usual happy place after brunch with my sister and other female family. I'm thinking the energy bubble might help. Should I just avoid them all except for this yearly birthday, hers, or do something else? Okay, yes, the energy bubble is so helpful. Also helpful to remember that people are the way they are and we can't change them. And if you want to have a relationship there, you've got to have your energy protected. And here's the thing. And I'm talking to Cindy, makes sense to others, you guys take it. If this relationship is not fulfilling, if the part of the relationship, like it's your sister, other family people, you may still want to have a connection with them, right? But if you find that you're usually drained after every interaction, it might be helpful to take a step back, rebuild your energy, and then go from there. Just because somebody's family doesn't mean we have to spend, 24/7 with them. So that's something important to remember. Yeah, you'll have to see what feels right to you. I know I have a family member who can be very difficult to be around, and I don't want to lose that relationship. So I just, it's pretty wild. We get together and I just let, ooh, everything just goes like this, rolls right off me. I don't care. Whatever goes on, whatever is said, I don't care. And I just go, okay, okay, and just do that. Also, I don't see this person very much either. So I have time to build up my energy and get prepared. So it's kind of a tricky balance as to how much of a relationship you want to have there. Okay, let's see what we have. Jody Marie, anything would be appreciated. Anything. I like anything. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm just going to check in and see what happens. Okay, we're going for colors with you. I love doing colors, and that means I'm reading your aura, basically. Sometimes people ask me if their colors are always whatever I say, and no, our aura colors can change, but based on emotions, what's happening in our lives. But I tend to pick up on the more foundational colors, the ones that are more about who you are. Okay. One reminder, since we've got more people watching than when I started, so you know what's going on. I'm just answering questions. I'm doing whatever mini readings pop into my head. And if you want to ask a question or get a mini reading, you have to be on my Facebook page, Colleen Vanderzijden, Medium and Intuitive Life Coach. I cannot see your comments if you are on Lily Dale's page, just the way it is right now. So anyway, if you want something over here, come and join me over here. And if you don't know who I am, a registered medium at Lilydale. And also an intuitive life coach and a spiritual teacher, etc., etc. Okay, so back to Jody. Okay, interestingly, the first colors that I pick up on you are green. Green always means, to me, the heart energy and healing. In your case, it feels more healing. I'm not saying something's wrong with you or anything like that. Healing also means that it is helping you process emotions. It's helping you handle whatever is happening in your life. It's also a color of growth. So I can feel a lot of green around you, Jody. And I'm liking this color a lot. It's a vibrant green. It is not dark or muddy. It's very vibrant. This gives me the impression that you are rapidly growing and there is a lot happening around you. I also see blue, and blue is my communication color, and I can see some blue there. And I'm wondering if you are interested in a spiritual or metaphysical field and are wanting to communicate to other people. You know, if you want to be a medium, a healer, or whatever. And I'm wondering about that. Because I am getting the sense of organization. I want to get everything just organized, just so. This could apply to that or other things. So I feel that around you. Sometimes when we're growing, especially quickly, especially now with the changes in energy around us, it can be a little bit scary because we might be picking up on energy things that we didn't pick up on before, or we might be having visions like Beverly mentioned, or we might be getting messages, or our intuition is skyrocketing or something. And if that is the case, just know that you're just growing. That's all it is. And just leave that there. So your aura, I feel, is really representing at this moment the growth and the communication. And it does feel quite rapid right now. Okay, I'll leave you that, Jody. Everybody, I'm trying to be shorter than I normally am so I can reach more people. And see. Cindy says, solar eclipse was fantastic, but still I got in a slump this week. I hate when I slide backwards. Everybody, Cindy's not sliding backwards, and neither are you. What's happening, it may feel like it. We feel like we're sliding backwards. We're not. The energy is still working underneath. It's just that we're taking a little intermission, I call it. It's a time of waiting and preparing for the next part. Just like if we're watching a play. You know, they do the first act on stage, then we have the intermission where people go to the bathroom, they read the program book, they chat with their neighbors. The intermission is when everybody backstage, their energy is working to get ready for the next part. This is what happens when you feel like you're stuck or you've slidden, I don't know if that's a word, backwards. Okay, that's what's happened. You haven't. You're not stuck. You're not sliding backwards. Your energy is catching up. The energy is changing so rapidly now. We can come up here and then it's like we have to kind of relax a little bit so we can bring all that energy into our bodies and then we can keep going in the next part. Isn't that interesting? Yeah, so many things. Okay. Where's my truck? John, I thought I saw that online. Somebody stole your truck. I'm sorry to say I don't feel like it's near you. And I also don't feel like it's still in one piece. We'll see about that. Laura, can you develop one gift only, or essentially you are developing all gifts? Sorry if that is confusing. It is not confusing at all. Isn't that interesting? It's such an interesting thought. Such an interesting thought. I have never really thought about that. I'm going to see what my guide says here. Okay. Anytime we are growing spiritually and maybe we're newer to it, we might see, how can I just explain this? Okay, here's an example. So way back when I first started doing mediumship, I would see people working as mediums and I would see them say things or hear them say, oh, I see this spirit next to you. Sometimes they would say the spirit they were seeing was like a physical person, not just in their head, but literally in front of them. And so later, as I was developing my own mediumship, I remember thinking, I don't really see people like that. So I started to question if I was doing it correctly because we're human, right? And then I realized that I work in my own way, and where I see things in my head, I feel things, they show me visions, whatever it might be. And then I realized everything we do, we might think we're working on one thing, but everything is working. So spiritual growth to me, or developing these gifts, we'll put that in quotes, developing these gifts is all about learning who we are and touching in with our energy and just kind of following it wherever it goes. No matter what we do, we are developing every part. Okay, so even if you want to develop mediumship, for example, you wanted to be a medium, you're developing it, you're learning as much as you can about it, that is helping you in all areas of your life. So you're actually developing all gifts. Okay, I hope that wasn't too confusing, but that made sense. Jody says, yes, good. Glad I made some sense. Yeah, isn't it interesting? So interesting how life is. Okay, I'm scrolling backwards and I'm just saying, okay, Jody, you were right on. I am developing my skills and taking classes. Woohoo! Yay! How fun! I'm back to the where's my truck. Okay, Tracy. Tracy says she's struggling with a major life decision that has her ping-ponging back and forth between what is best for as many people as possible and hoping for any insight or guidance from anyone. How many of y'all, my new word, y'all, how many of you are also going back and forth between a major life decision? A lot of people are doing that right now. There's so much happening, so we're going back and forth. And what is best for as many people as possible. Now, that gives me a little warning bell, not necessarily for Tracy, but maybe for some others. Sometimes we are more concerned about helping other people than touching in with ourselves and seeing what feels right. So if we go down that route, helping other people rather than touching in, we can become some really good people pleasers, trying to keep everybody else happy, trying to make sure we're accommodating everyone. The best way to actually make decisions like this is not to think it out, but instead to feel it out and check in with ourselves to see what feels right. Now, here's where we have problems. If we're making a major life decision, checking in with ourselves isn't going to work right away because our minds are still trying to figure it out. So instead of figuring it out, is we stop trying to figure it out every single time that comes into our heads and we go, oh, I should do this or should I do this? And we just do that ping pong thing. We set it aside and say, not right now. I'm not working on that right now. Then go do something else. Distract yourself with something else. Be busy. Go wash the dishes. Go do the floor. Do gardening. Do knitting. Whatever. The reason we do this is because we have to break that habit of trying to figure it out and think it out. Okay, so every time I've used this idea very successfully with a lot of my coaching clients as well as myself. And it is where if I don't have to make a decision right away, I set a date in the future where on that day I can think about it. And that's usually at least 2 weeks away. Okay, so this is something if you don't have to make a decision immediately, set it 2 weeks away. What tends to happen is by the time we get to that date, our mind will have worked it out on its own. We'll feel what the right answer is. It'll pop into our heads, whatever it is. As long as every time it pops into our head, we don't fall into thinking about it. And we go, not right now. I'm thinking about it on May 1st. I'm not going to do it until May 1st. Then May 1st comes along, and if you're ready, you can think about it, or it may be already resolved. Or you can also say, I still am not quite sure, so I'm going to wait another week or whatever. Okay, now, if you have to make a decision immediately, and I mean today, then you just do the best you can, of course. Okay. It is interesting, Tracy, that my guide is not giving me more information as to which way to go. Sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. He's more concerned that you are really touching in here so that when you do make this decision, it feels right to you. It has to feel right. I believe the reason he's doing this is because you are already, as I know, spiritually inclined, okay? And you already know these kinds of things. And so he's kind of like, I'm not telling her what the answer is. She needs to figure it out for herself. But the only way she's going to figure it out for herself is to touch in with herself, feel it, and go in that route. Interesting. Yep, that makes sense. That's what he says. Yeah, it's really about trusting here and listening to yourself. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Yep. Oh, good. Yes, Krista, the boundaries works really well. After you do readings, how do you decompress and recharge? Such a great question. Such a great question. Okay, what I'm about to say is very similar to what I just said to Tracy, but also very similar to, separating your energy when I was talking about to Cindy about the people around her and all that. After I do readings, if it's daylight, I like to go for a walk or go for a walk in the woods. That does both. It helps me get out of my head, out of that space, and get me back in my body so I'm regrounded. This can also help for those of you who are empaths and want to separate your energy from other people's energy. Just get outside and ground as much as possible. It is interesting. When I do readings, generally, I'm pretty invigorated after. Being in that channeling flow keeps me really up there nicely. And so sometimes I just have to kind of bring myself back to earth, if you will. And so that's an easy one, actually. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Sue says, the strategy of setting it aside takes out so much anxiety and stress away. It really does work. It is like the first time Spirit told me that to stop thinking about things and just set it aside. I remember thinking, really? Because my human side is like, no. What we do as humans is we want to figure it out. We were taught that's what we're supposed to do, right? We're supposed to figure it out, think it out, do the pros and cons list, go back and forth, think. We weren't taught to feel it, right? So if we set it aside, we allow the universe to guide us and take care of it. And more times than not, it does. It's so much easier if we trust the universe to do these things. And then we don't have to get stressed out. Like, why? If we don't have to, don't do it. It's just not fun. Okay, what else? Oh, Lisa, interesting question. Are you born with gifts naturally, then choose to develop them later, or do you just develop them as you go through life? I will say yes to both of those, that you can be born with these abilities or skills, and can develop them later. And even as you go through life, you're just going to keep developing things. So people always ask, how can I find my gifts? What are my gifts? And the simple answer is, what are you interested in? If you're interested in something, that's a skill or ability that you probably want to develop, right? Our human side feels like we have to do something really big. Sometimes we talk about our purpose here, and we've done that a bit, talk about our purpose, and we think it has to be something gigantic, when really our purpose is being ourselves as much as we can, living from our soul's truth, connecting with others, sharing love with other people. That's really our purpose. Okay. And so it's the same thing with the gifts. Whatever it is you're interested in, you can do. And it is, way back when I was a kid and stuff, I had no interest in being a medium whatsoever. It just wasn't my interest. But I did want to be psychic, and they're related, of course. So I use my psychic to connect with spirits as well. So you just never know. And later on, as life goes, you know how sometimes when you have a spiritual awakening, you might wake up and go, oh, wait, all of a sudden I get it. There's more to life than what I thought. I'm really interested in these ideas now. And a lot of people are waking up right now because of the energy. And so there you go. Interesting question. Okay, let's see what else we want. Oh, where'd it go? Okay, let's do this. Llewellyn Livingston. Before I get to you, I should tell people where I am, especially if people have joined in late. So I'm Colleen Van Der Zijden. We are live on Lilydale Radio. The name of the show is called Embracing Your Essence. And tonight we're just having some fun. Ask some questions. I'll give some readings. We just see where we end up. It's fun. And if you want a question, to ask me a question, or you want a reading or something, you need to be on my page here on Facebook, Colleen Van Der Zijden, medium and intuitive life coach, so I can see the comments, okay? And ask an interesting question to get my attention. Or sometimes I just go. So like Llewellyn, I'm going to go with. She says, there a message for me or something I should know right now? And interestingly, the first thing I saw was... okay, I did not expect that. Okay, so Llewellyn, I hope you're into this, because what I'm going to tell you is I was seeing a past life. Every now and then a past life pops into my head, and here we are. So I was seeing a past life for you. I could see you, boy, I have to say, and I hate to go here because too many people go here and it's not always accurate, but I am seeing Native American. Okay, I am seeing a Native American past life. I am seeing that you were a person, you worked very hard, you were female, you worked very hard. It was like endless for you. You were always going, working in the fields, if you will, that kind of thing. I can see you planting. I can also see you hunting. And I can also see you, gosh, what is that? Okay. What I was seeing was like a fire, and I was seeing stones around it and stones in it. And I do not have knowledge of Native American things, so if anybody else knows what I'm talking about, feel free to share. So I see this. It looks more like a ceremony to me, and I want to put... like leaves or something in it, okay? And here's the part that's very interesting to me. It feels like we are basically setting an intention, like we're calling to the gods, if you will, to come and help us in some way. So this tells me that you did a lot here, but also it tells me that you had a role in this community in terms of that, what I just described. You have a role in that. And interestingly, when I see a past life thing, it usually applies in this lifetime in some way. And what it feels like to me is that you tend to be quite busy in this lifetime. You have lots of different skills. You have done lots of things. When you were younger, I bet you had to do a lot just to survive, keep going, etc. And I also see this I'm going to call it natural spirituality. That's what I'm going to call it. Natural spirituality. So it feels like you have this sense that there is that kind of what feels right to you, spirituality, where you're asking for help or guidance and listening for answers. Okay. Well, there you go, Llewellyn. I bet you didn't expect that because I know I didn't. Gotta love something different. It's just the way it goes. Okay, let's see what else we got here. I'm going to scroll down and then come back up. That might be easier. Let's see. Yeah, stones around a fire, stones in the circle ceremony. I don't know. Maybe somebody's watching and knows what I'm talking about. Oh, yes. Okay. Okay. Dina, this is going to be a tough one here. We'll see what happens. My 10-year-old is struggling with bad anxiety. I believe I'm an empath, and it's so hard to help him when my anxiety spikes. Is there anything from my past that has brought this on for my son, or any help advice is appreciated? No, there's nothing from your past that has brought that on. It is interesting. Just so you know, right now, there's a huge amount of anxiety out there. So much has happened in the last few years. The kids are really struggling, left over from COVID. The adults are struggling, same thing from COVID, plus everything else that's happening out there. So just so you know, you're not alone, and he's not alone either. There's a lot of people feeling this. One thing that I have found to really help with anxiety, and I'm talking about for you, okay, is to make a point a few times throughout your day of thinking about someone or something you really love. Okay. So, for example, you really love your son. Okay. And what we do is we connect with the energy of the love we have for him. Okay. We don't go, oh, I love him so much and I'm really scared for him and I don't like that he has anxiety, blah, blah, blah. We don't do that. We just feel the love. That's it. What happens is when we touch in with this energy and feel that love, our body will relax and our energy opens and it becomes more confident and secure. If we do this a few times a day, our energy will get stronger. Then when we happen to have some anxiety, we can notice it. Okay, and we don't want to ignore it. This is what we all do is I'm feeling anxious. I want it to go away. Please go away. Please go away, which only makes it stronger. So we want to notice the anxiety, but to not get caught in the story of it, not get caught in resisting it, not get caught in, oh, I hate having this, is we notice what the anxiety feels like in our body. That takes us out of our heads and we won't get caught in the story. We get back in our bodies. So we know the anxiety's there. We know what it feels like. And as you notice the body, what you'll discover, if not almost immediately, but very quickly, you'll discover when you notice it here that the anxiety actually decreases. Okay, because now you're giving it attention. When we push it away, it makes it stronger. When we notice it's there, it actually gets quieter. Isn't that interesting? I know it sounds like it shouldn't go that way, but it does. The trick is to make sure you come back to the body. Okay, then when you get a little bit more centered, back grounded in your body, then you can do that thing where you love other people, the love you're feeling for something, or the love of a great place you love to visit and how it makes you feel good. Whatever makes you feel really good, connect with that energy. Then you can go in that energy and you're going to feel better and stronger. As you're calming your own anxiety, that is only going to help everyone in your household, everyone, including your son. And then you may be able to help him too. Now, there is an exercise, I guess I'll call it that. That's popping into my head that Spirit told me many years ago for a young child I was working with. And it was the idea of having the child stand with their feet on the ground, feet apart, but on a flexible side, because what we want to do is have some movement there and just have him stand there. And it's kind of like, your feet are grounded like roots of a tree, and your body is the tree, but the tree is blowing in the wind very gently. And what we did with this other child I was working with was to have them move very gently when they were experiencing anxiety. And then it was like the energy just went down through their feet into the earth, and they felt so much better. So that's something to try as well, if you think he'd be open to it. Okay, that might be something to try too. So there's some thoughts for you, Dina. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm going to do a reading now because I need to do one. But before I do that, I do want to mention my retreat is coming up, you guys. May 3 through 5, Reimagine Your Life in Person Retreat. I have just a few seats left for this, just a few seats. But if you're interested in that, you might want to check it out. You can find it on my website, ColleenVanderZuyden.com. Just right at the top, it says something about Reimagine Your Life Retreat. Click on that, it'll take you right to it. We are going to be doing this really cool, extraordinary process to release blocks, limiting beliefs, guilt, pain from the past. We did it last year and it was amazing. And this year I've got a little tweak to it. And so we're going to do that again. So if you've got some blocks or things getting in your way of living your best life, we are going to do a process to help you release that. Greg is going to do a really cool thing where he calls spiritual activation, where we take a spiritual experience or a profound experience you may have had and strengthen that energy. So you strengthen your connection to your soul. We are going to be working with intuition, and we're going to be having so much fun. I just got all these supplies, so many supplies, because I love to buy things for my people. And so we're going to just have a ball. If you're interested and you want to be living your best life and you are ready for that, we can get you well on your way at this retreat. And besides, it's really, really fun. And we have some amazing people going, and we're going to be in the beautiful Chautauqua Harbor Hotel down in Celeron, New York, a little bit away from Lilydale. So just a few seats left. If you think you want to go, yeah, best check it out. May 3 through 5. Okay, so I want to do a reading now because I haven't done any, and I answered a lot of questions, which is fun, isn't it? Sorry. I'm going with Fiona, mostly because I really like that name. And Fiona, oh my, you must have the most amazing energy, because the first thing that happened as soon as I touched in with you is I felt like this. I felt expansive. I felt very, I'm going to use the word pure. I feel pure. And what I mean by that is my energy is very clear. Okay. And not only is the energy clear, it is also strong. And it is also a great channel that you've got going. It feels like you've done quite a bit of work on yourself and have released things. And part of that, the purity and the clarity of it is that you are truly rooted in love. You are truly rooted in love. You really authentically, genuinely, sincerely, want to help people. I bet at some point you must have been a people pleaser because your heart is so big, but I recognize that you have pulled that back, okay? You're still helping people be happy, but you're not sacrificing yourself to get there. You have a beautiful energy. There is this sense, again, I can't help but say that again because that's what's happening, but there's this beautiful sense of people feeling so safe with you. And I really want to acknowledge that your energy is making a difference to the people around you. You are very optimistic, enthusiastic. I know you can have your downs, and that's okay, because sometimes people who are in that realm, the creative, pure energy realm, sometimes it's almost like we crash a little bit and then we have to come back up again, but it's okay. It's just a reset of the energy. So if that ever happens to you, don't worry. It's just a reset. No worries. You just keep being you. Yeah. That's it. That's all I got to tell you. You just keep being you. You're amazing. Now, I don't know if you want to admit you're amazing, but let me know if that makes sense to you, because that was a lot of really cool things about you. Lisa, I wondered because I do have a lot of strange experiences from when I was young. Things would show up in my baby pictures. I've always seen dead people, and I do have gifts, but I've just gotten away from them. And that's okay. Everybody just, even though if you have gifts, and different skills and abilities you have, but maybe this lifetime is not the lifetime that you planned to really step into them, and that's okay. We can't do everything that we want to do necessarily here. There's only so much time, and if you're supposed to be doing these things, Lisa particularly, if you're supposed to be connecting with dead people, and you kind of feel like, I should be doing that, you'll be doing it. Don't worry. You'll start doing it and it'll happen. Okay, let's see what else we've got. You are welcome, Zena. Jody, how does one see past lives? Do you ask your guys to show? It's really interesting, Jody. These days, it just pops into my head. Yeah. I think because I've been working in these realms so long, I don't really have to ask necessarily. It just kind of happens. So, which is not very helpful for telling you how to do it, is it? But anyway, there we are. Fiona, thank you so much. I've been told this a lot through my spiritual journey. Yay. Fiona, one more question for you. I want to know, do you work in a field like readings, healing, energy, anything like that? Are you in some kind of a helping healing field, medical or teaching or something like that tends to go in there too? It's so interesting. Okay, who else wants a reading? Let's see. Charity, could I get a mini reading? Anything you feel. Anything. Okay, let's see what we got. You know what's coming in really strongly right now, Charity, is the word dedication. What a great word. It is the feeling of you being dedicated to following your path. And I know you have been doing some of that. And you are dedicated with that. And I have to tell you, this is important because how it feels to me is the more dedicated you are to living your own life, the stronger the dedication becomes, and the less likely others are going to drag you down. So this is basically an affirmation to you that your dedication is making a difference in your life. Okay? Yes. And my guide is saying, do not stop. Keep following your path. Don't let other people take you off your path. Stay dedicated. That's interesting. Did not know I was going to say that. Arlene. Hey, hi, Arlene. I feel like I feel like I'm going to repeat myself because all of a sudden I'm like, didn't I talk to her a little while ago? And tell me if this is exactly what I said last time. I think I need to let you know that this is still right. Okay? Did I tell you that before? This is what it feels like. I feel like we are like, going like this. Weird feeling though right now. Do you have somebody around you? Somebody who's trying to influence you? Somebody who's trying to tell you, okay, I'm just going to be blunt on this. I get a really smarmy feeling with somebody around you who is trying to either manipulate you, lie to you, mislead you. Wow, that's not cool. Okay, I got 3 things on that. Do you have somebody around you who's trying to convince you of something? It does not feel like family, okay? It doesn't feel like family. It feels like somebody's... I don't like the feeling. If you got something like that going on, just go no. Just go no. I don't normally tell people that, but not liking it. Let me know if that makes sense to you. Otherwise, let's talk about happy things. I really like this. There is, what I'm seeing now are layers. I'm seeing layers. It's like you've got this part done, you've got this part done, you've got this part done, and there's another avenue for you Okay, this is going to be weird, and so we'll have to sort this out. I am seeing records, like records for a record player, like old-fashioned records. And the feeling that's coming in with that is older music, like 1940s, in that area, give or take a decade or two. Okay, I'm seeing music from that era. And there is this very strong sensation of old-fashioned things. Okay, old-fashioned. It's the next thing I'm seeing. Oh gosh, if this makes any sense, it'll be a miracle. The next thing I'm seeing is people all dressed up in period clothing from that time and maybe even earlier, and it looks like a party. Okay, I have no clue what that means. It feels like you're going to have a party with period clothing playing old-fashioned records. Okay, anyway, see what that means. But I have to tell you, it's fun and it somehow connects with all the layers of everything you're doing. There's something here. Okay, I'm going to stop on that because that's pretty wacky. And you can let me know what makes sense. Okay, what else do we have? I am going to say movement in Tai Chi, swaying like the grass. Really, Bernie? I should take some Tai Chi. I haven't done that in years. Okay, I scrolled up and saw Kate. I was listening while driving home now. I was always told growing up that I had gifts, but that I was blocking them out or not allowing myself to be open enough. So I've been trying to work on that over the years. Usually my intuition is spot on, like scary spot on, but I don't know if I'm supposed to be picking up on anything else. No, you know what? My belief system is the more we know ourselves, the stronger our intuition is going to be, the easier it becomes to listen to the inner guidance from our soul, to listen to the wisdom. And you have been working on this. You don't need to worry or be concerned in any way. One thing I'll tell you for your benefit as well as others, everybody who's working on intuition, we tend to have one or two maybe primary senses that we listen to or pay attention to the most, and as we begin to work with intuition even stronger, or working in energy fields or mediumship or whatever, psychic, whatever it might be, is to pay attention to all of our senses. Okay, all of our senses, what we see, hear, feel physically, our emotion, how information comes in with or without emotion. Remember, intuition doesn't have that emotional component to it. So we want to pay attention to make sure it is that factual feeling. We want to pay attention to any kind of nudges we get in our body as well. And especially when we're first working with intuition, we want to really start to just pay attention. And a way to improve your intuition is to practice paying attention to your senses in life. Okay, how do you interact with life? Are you primarily visual? Are you more auditory? Whatever it may be. Are you more of a feeler? You just feel what feels right in your body, or you notice it in your body. You need to do something in order to learn how to do something. Pay attention to those things and then see how you experience life. If you're sitting outside, it's a beautiful day, and you're sitting there, what are you doing? Are you just noticing the ocean in front of you, my favorite? Are you also listening to the ocean? Are you feeling the wind? How do you feel emotionally? How does your energy feel? All of that. That, for everybody, is going to help strengthen your intuition. Apparently, I needed to give a little intuition speech today. So, Kate, you are good. You just keep being you. You're awesome. Just keep being you. Okay, let's see. Cindy Claire, I keep being told I should expect new beginnings and a new door to open. Any feelings on this? Yes, I agree. I agree. The one thing we want to do, Cindy, is not look for those new beginnings and that new door, not look for it. So just be open and allow it to show up when it does. It's kind of like when somebody is wanting a partner. They don't have a partner, they've been wanting one, and they've been wanting and wanting and wanting, and then a medium or somebody says to them, "Oh, I see somebody coming." And then the person starts looking at every single person and going, "Is it this person? Is this person? Is it this person?" Sometimes it's better not to know and just kind of go with the flow of it. Because if we start questioning everything, it's almost as though we close the door. So for you, Cindy, it's kind of like just be curious and anticipate it showing up when it's supposed to be coming. And I do feel that coming. You know what it feels like besides physical changes and stuff around you, but what it feels like is a new mindset coming in as well. A new way of looking at things. A new way of experiencing life with this new mindset. There's a lot of gratitude and appreciation with this, and I'm also feeling a lot of love. If something is not of love, you're like, no, sorry, can't do it. So along with this comes a new mindset. And I'm not saying you're not loving or kind or anything like that now, but it's more of a focus on it. How interesting. Yes, we'll see on that, right? We will see on that. Okay, and Arlene, thank you. Our house was built in that period. It feels like a celebration. Oh, good, because I have no idea what that was about. So interesting. Soul Empowerment Community. Somebody asked about that. We have a community, an online community called the Soul Empowerment Community. It is all about helping you accelerate your spiritual growth, where you can learn about all sorts of different topics, spiritually related. We have a couple events, online events every month, plus a couple in-person events a couple times a year, and all sorts of other things. And we will be opening the doors to that next month. So if you are interested in wanting to belong to an amazing community of the most wonderful, loving, kind people, just keep your eye out and you'll know when it's time, and you can join us if you want. Okay, what time is it? Oh my goodness, it's after 9. Okay, so I suppose I best stop talking because it's after 9. Okay, so y'all, before I hang up here from you, do you want me to do this again? Answer questions and do mini readings. I can do it again next week. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be here next week. So if you want to do that again, you write it in the comments so that I know. And make sure you're following my page, Colleen Van Der Zijden, Medium and Intuitive Life Coach. If you're interested in my retreat, May 3 through 5, in-person retreat, so much fun. Go to my website and you can learn more about that there. Just a few seats left. ColleenVanderzijden.com or BeCourageouslyYou.com. Both works. It's amazing. Thank you for the stars, Kim. Sam is saying it's a wonderful spiritual group. It is. Yes, you guys want me to keep doing this. Okay. Yeah, it's fun. That's what I'm allowing. A new mindset. There you go, Julie. Perfect. Will it be a spiritual door? It's kind of like a spiritual door, but I feel like other things too, Cindy. We'll see, right? We will just allow it to come when it is time. Okay, you guys have the most amazing week full of love, peace, and joy. And just embrace those beautiful energies that are out there. And then I will try to get more people. I did a lot of people tonight. So see, I found a method trying to keep it shorter as best I can. So we'll do that again next week. You guys have fun. I'll see you later. Bye.